This video will provide an overview of the on-ramp segment and off-ramp segment analysis modules because of their similarity. First, we'll start with the on-ramp segment module. Again, either selecting it from the list and clicking the load button or double-clicking on the list entry. And again, a lot of entries consistent with what we saw in the basic freeway segment module and the weaving segment module. In the upper left part of the screen here, we have inputs dealing with the traffic demand and free flow speed specific to the main line of the ramp junction, number of lanes, traffic demand, peak hour factor, free flow speed adjustment factor. Again, we can select the free flow speed as either measured or estimated. And we can set the capacity adjustment factor here as well. The heavy vehicle factor inputs, again, the same inputs as we've seen before: general, specific grade, composite grade. I will select the specific grade in this case, in which case I need to enter the appropriate values in these fields here. And then enter my percentage of single unit trucks and tractor trailers. And the corresponding truck PCE and heavy vehicle factor values are shown here. These inputs here pertain to the on-ramp. And we can select either 1 or 2 lanes for the on-ramp. And if we change it to 2, we get some additional inputs related to calculating the effective length of the acceleration lane. And if we have an adjacent upstream off-ramp or adjacent downstream off-ramp, we can select those and set the inputs accordingly for those. And when we have our input specified, we can select the Calculate Performance Measures in LOS button, and again see the corresponding results. And if we had adjacent ramps, we would see those results in here. We can also select a left side ramp, and again, if we change any of the inputs, the results fields will be blanked. Like we've seen for the previous modules, we can calculate service volumes. And for those calculations, we do need to know what the proportion of on-ramp to freeway traffic is, which defaults to a value based on the inputs from the previous screen, but again, the user can override that as desired. Again, we can obtain a formatted report summarizing the inputs and the outputs and send that to the printer with the printer icon or selecting print under the file menu. And that ends the summary of the on-ramp module, and we will now take a quick look at the off-ramp module. Very similar to what we just saw for the on-ramp module, but of course now we're looking at an off-ramp configuration, and again we can specify either a right side ramp or a left side ramp. this, I will go ahead and add some adjacent ramps. Now calculate the results. And because we have adjacent ramps, in this case, we have results shown here. And again, we can calculate service volumes, for which we need to know the proportion of freeway to off-ramp traffic. And we have a formatted report. And that concludes the overview of the on-ramp and off-ramp segment analysis modules.